Ugh, that was unceremonious. Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to our meeting. Chatters, speakers, are you all there? Can you say something?
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
Great.
Hello.
Great. Unmuting was a success. Love that.
What a great video.
Huge thank you and props to Purse for our relaunch showcase that we all just ingested together. And to Wookie for being Purse's right-hand man, arguably, through that. Amazing job. I've watched it like 5 times and I still just got so hyped. So yeah, hi everyone, welcome. This is our inaugural stream on the Twitch RP Twitch channel. Brand new, sparkling, shiny Twitch channel. Love that for us. I'm gonna pull up for you our agenda here just so everybody knows where we're headed today. I'm also multitasking really hard right now, so bear with me. Let's see. Okay, so this is an overview of what we're looking at achieving today. I've got some notices for you. We're gonna go over relaunch day, allow listing for relaunch, the lore wipe information, economy balance, properties after relaunch, let's crime good together with Casey, Frontier Medical, ambassador updates, Frontier Justice, using pre-wipe to your advantage, PRC/TRP merger status, and Halloween. And at the end, we'll do our Discord Q&A. Just a heads up, does anybody have a link to the TRP website post with Hicks's blog post and Purse's video? If anyone wants to throw that link, it's gonna have to be a moderator, wants to throw that link into the chat for us, that would be amazing.
I'm not a moderator.
I am locating.
You're not a moderator? That's
I have
because...
I have it, guys.
Yeah,
oh, Kate has it too.
I'm just kind of hurt by that, but that's okay.
Well, remember when I said yesterday, if you want to be a moderator, please put your Twitch username into this channel.
Remember when you said you've never been annoyed with me ever? Remember when you said that?
I stand by it.
I'll save it for the Q&A. Okay.
Save it for the Q&A. Amazing. Oh, you know what I'm going to try really quick? I thought it'd be super cute. Oh yeah, it's working. If we had this little Discord
God,
moment,
is that us?
so that you guys could see who's speaking and not have to memorize our voices.
Wait, what did you think would be super cute?
Huh?
She's putting us on the stream.
There.
Oh.
Our
I know
little
we're seeing.
Discord highlights.
Pretty
Oh,
cute.
that's super helpful. Yeah, that's super helpful.
Yeah.
Really cute.
Yeah.
It's only covering up this for now. I think it'll be good for the rest of the time, and though also sometimes it moves around and annoys me, so it might disappear.
It's like that in the office when the screensaver and everyone was waiting for it to go into the exact corner. And then they
Yes.
all
The
screamed in
DVDs,
joy.
yeah.
Yes, the DVD screensaver. Amazing. Okay, all right, let's jump in. Okay, so all together, we've got about an hour and a half of content for you, and you should walk away feeling quite knowledgeable, I should think. Notices, pretty straightforward. This was in the announcement. Please don't record this meeting. Please do not host an unofficial stream of this meeting. Thank you so much. The plan for QA, I want to give you that just right now so you know where we're going at the end. Q&A will be handled in Discord at the end of the meeting. We will not be answering any questions live. So I should say not at the end of the meeting, after the meeting. So no sense asking questions in the chat. No one's going to answer you. You'll be posting your questions in the QA channel in Discord. I think I called it community meeting questions. Pretty straightforward. And then you'll get the answers to your questions in a nice, beautiful FAQ document that will be posted a few days from now. Okay, so that we all get the same answers to the questions all at the same time, and we all have access to that. It'll be great and beautiful. Okay. All right. Without any further ado, timekeeper, can I just give you a heads up? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna keep my own time. Never mind. I don't have Discord up, so I won't see you. That's all.
You're an independent woman who doesn't need no timekeeper.
You could do like a really cute little noise if you wanted, like a little doot. I thought about doing that for you guys.
Just a really cute little noise, like a dude.
Just like a little.
Are you talking
You know
about
what?
in the chat or in here? Because they're not in this channel.
Shammy, I assume is
Yeah.
listening to the stream though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But if he's dooting, we won't be able to hear it.
Yep, so true. So you have to
So
do it in
cute.
chat. Do a cute little sound effect in the chat.
Like Revan
Twitch
did.
chat.
Dude,
Yeah,
just-
a little
yeah.
doot. Oh,
But
good.
only
We can use
Shammy
our
can do dude,
imagination.
okay.
Yep, love it. Thank you so much. Great teamwork. Relaunch day with our very own Hicks. He's going to be talking about what to expect day of. And Wheels is going to give us a little howdies rundown at the end there. Hicks, take it away.
I'm talking. Oh God, sorry.
I'm talking about what to expect on launch day. Yes.
Yes,
I'm gonna
indeed.
take that as a yes.
Yep. What to expect the day
Yes,
of
proceed.
launch?
Okay, wonderful.
Oh, was I pushing the wrong
effectively,
button? Oh, God damn it.
What I would like everybody to keep in mind for launch day is that the dev team's been working on this kind of ground up rebuild for, well, coming on, I believe, a year now. It is extensive changes, and obviously, as much as we can test, and we test quite often, we can't test at scale with average or peak server concurrency numbers. What that means is when it first launches, I do expect some hiccups. Not huge things, nothing insane, but things that effectively escaped the scope of testing and or couldn't properly be tested without a larger load on the server. We've picked our launch date very specifically to ensure that we have developer coverage to address this stuff as it happens. I'm not anticipating this guy falling. I want to be very clear. That's not what I'm saying. But there might be little things popping up here or there that we just didn't catch. Maybe an animation doesn't fire off properly. Maybe an item doesn't get paid out. So it's very important that when people run into these issues on the day of relaunch, that they are providing what we call as actionable information in their bugs as possible. So if it's something, ideally, this is something you've encountered more than once. If it's a one-off issue and you're having trouble reproducing it, I wouldn't worry about reporting. It's going to get caught by someone else. But if you're encountering a bug on relaunch day that you can reproduce, and by reproduce, I mean recreate effectively. You run into a bug and you're like, man, can I have that happen again? That's what I mean by reproduce. If you run into an issue on relaunch day that you can reproduce, make sure to write down those steps. Make sure to grab your client logs, which you can access by hitting F8 in game. And there's a little button up there that says open logs. And make sure to provide that data to us, because the more information that the dev team gets on any issues, the quicker we can solve it. The least information we get on something, that means a lot of experimentation and black magic, and that can be incredibly frustrating and run a long time. So for launch day, I don't expect a lot of key critical issues around the core basics, creating your character, IDs, inventories, all that kind of stuff. But there's probably small stuff that has escaped QA coverage or proper QA stress testing with larger numbers and things like jobs and activities. So please just be on the lookout for that and try and provide, like I said before, as much solid data as possible to the development team so we can get those squashed. And as far as setting the tone for kind of the stability of it, we have done fairly extensive, as much as we can, with testers in the community testing group, test passes to give us a high level of confidence. So I wouldn't temper it as like, oh, it's going to be this problem or that problem. I just come into it with an understanding that this is the first time that the relaunch code base has hit a large player scale, and we're all looking forward to seeing what shakes out. But I guess the long and short of it is, the development team is both incredibly excited for you all to get your hands on it, and incredibly excited to put this behind us so we can start working on what's next.
Just to add on, I guess, and preface the rest of the meeting too, read the blog post there in all caps. There is a little bit of an expectation that you've read that and watched the video and kind of know what's going on. If you haven't done that, you may want to do so after the meeting, and a lot of things might fall into place for you in your understanding. Definitely want to do that before you get into posting questions in the Q&A.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm just going to echo off what you said there.
Yeah.
I did put a lot of focus and effort and intention in how I wrote that announcement out to kind of get the information, the high points I thought everyone needed to know going into it. So please make sure to read it. It's not super long. It's like a 2-minute read at most, I would estimate. And I'm just personally very excited to finally get, there's a lot of amazing stuff in this update, but I'm personally very excited to roll out the new character skills and the skill caps and such to really drive the collaborative role play on the civilian side, and crafting, the law and criminal. All of it has a lot of cross dependencies and cross intricacies, and I'm very excited to see people fall into roles, whether it be Silas down at Blackwater or miners up in Annesburg. There's a lot of effort and intention into this. I know I've said that before, but I'm really excited to see people fall into the roles of their characters and support the rest of the server's economy. That's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you. We've got, so, basically, I guess quick summary is that day of the relaunch will require downtime. We've got to take down the old server to put up the new one, basically. In that downtime, which we're expecting, Brian, if I remember correctly, that was going to be, we're estimating about an hour, maybe longer if things don't go perfectly according to plan. Great.
Ideally, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Nope.
Ideally, it would be inside an hour. If anything pops up, it might take a couple additional, but this shouldn't be a long downtime for us now.
Perfect. We do have a little exciting event planned for that downtime. Wheels, are you ready to tell us about the Howdies? Woo! Wheels, are you
Is this
muted?
maybe where
Okay, you're not talking in Discord?
I'm not talking in Discord? I am
You were not.
specifically talking in Discord. Oh,
Yeah,
it's your
you are.
turn.
Yeah.
Hi. The Howdies. Try and be quick about this. The Howdies morphed into something far, far bigger than anything any of us ever expected. It's taken a lot of time to get to where we are. Valor and our staff team have put in an immense amount of work on an award show for the Howdies. And we will be hosting that on the Twitch channel here during the server downtime on the relaunch day. So be there. I believe we're going to be sending out messages to all of those who are nominated or have won to give them all a chance to be here as well. But yeah, Valor especially has put in an insane amount of work on it, and we are very, very excited for you guys to finally see the outcome of it, because it is truly amazing. So
Yes, thanks, Wheels. Can we get some fires in the chat for Valor and all the work he put into the Howdies? You guys are gonna flip. It is literally so cool. Which, quick note about emotes and stuff, I just want to encourage you guys, like, we don't have emotes for TRP in the, in the chat. So, like, please use your own emotes or your favorite streamers' emotes. like do
Kay,
all
You're
that.
talking to your stream only and not in our Discord right
No,
now.
I'm
So we
literally.
can't hear you.
I don't know why that's happening.
I don't know either. I'm just letting you know. I just had the
Because
stream
I'm
open here.
literally lighting up in Discord. See? Hold on,
Yeah,
let me
you're
check.
talking now.
Well, now you are.
Well, yeah, now
Before you weren't.
No,
But I
yeah.
was holding the button down.
I don't know. I'm just letting you know.
Okay, I'm gonna just hold on. I'm gonna turn push to talk off in Discord, and you guys are just gonna have to deal with it.
Oh, hell
So
yeah.
fair and so fine.
Free K content. Let's go.
Maybe
Get
if
your
I
own
can even
wife.
figure out how to do that.
No, it's our wife now.
What the fuck? How about now?
Yeah,
I hear
you're
you
loud and
so
clear.
good.
Oh,
You're so
great.
great.
I'm so relieved. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, use all the emotes that you want. Use your own emotes. Use your favorite emotes. You know, this is a safe space for all your favorite emotes. All right, let's go. Let's move on. Let's move on from Relaunch Day. Allow listing for relaunch with me. Let's see here. Okay, so allow listing for relaunch. It is a new server. Current Red Dead players who are already allow listed, you ideally, if all goes according to plan, should not need to do anything. You should be able to connect to the server with no interruption once it goes up. I think maybe I'm just not going to be able to be heard in Discord when I'm not clicked into the Discord. I don't know
can-
why.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
hear you great now.
I can hear
You
you fine.
You're fine now.
Okay.
Yep.
I can hear you.
Convicts, what the fuck? You bitch.
Very calm, very cool.
We're
fuck,
very calm,
convicts?
cool, and collected. Okay, yeah. So current Reddit players, you should be good to go. You might run into some issues if you haven't connected to the server in the past few months. But basically, yeah, you will also need to have Steam open. But otherwise, you shouldn't have any issues. Current GTA players, we will need to get you allow list perms on the Red Dead server if you don't have them already. You will need to submit an application to do that, but we will be giving you a code word to put into the app so that you don't have to fill it all out. You can just pop in the code word. We will be cross-checking to make sure you are in fact an allow listed GTA player and aren't just, you know, using the code word for funsies. But yeah, so we are looking to streamline that for you GTA players. The allow list will require a pause. We're going to be shifting away from our Google form, which we've been using for the past year, and into TRP's much more professional and dope allow listing software, which will be done. You'll apply straight through the website. Really very simple and straightforward for you. It's also very simple and straightforward for us on the back end. But yeah, so that transition is going to require a pause. So as of the start of this meeting, we're no longer accepting applications until that switch has been made. So we will make an announcement when we're ready to take applications again. It will be through the new system. Easy peasy. Done. Great. And yeah, twitchrp.com to apply. Did I forget anything? I think that's it.
Kay, I'd like to clarify, as I've gotten this question a couple times as we prep this, just to be clear, the reasoning behind having to have Steam open has nothing to do with like DRM or ownership of Red Dead, that I should say, Red Dead 2 on Steam. We need a single source for a GUID, a user identifier, to identify you when you connect, and we're using Steam as that identifier. So that's why you need to have it open. The server only knows who you are if you have your Steam account open. It has nothing to do with where you own Red Dead. You could have it on Epic or Rockstar. Well, you have to have it. You have to have Rockstar Launcher open. You have it on Rockstar, you can have it on Epic, you have it on Steam. None of that matters. It's just so the server can identify you.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that question yesterday. Okay. Anything else I forgot? Got time to spare. Crushing it. Lore wipe. Information. Yeah, so this will be Brian and I covering this first topic. What does this mean for the server and character lore? Again, if you've read the blog posts, this should not be news to you. Yes, we will be doing a full lore wipe in conjunction with the database wipe and relaunch. So that, I mean, just as Hicks said in his post, your characters will have no history on the server. The server will have no shared lore history. We're starting fresh. In the year 1895, we're rolling back. Very cool. What that means is that we can celebrate the new year with a new year, and we can celebrate that progression of time for the foreseeable future. Really cool. Anything you want to add, Brian, before I move to the plan for law characters?
Not especially. You just please understand that I've spent months thinking on this and working my way around it, and ultimately, this is the decision I arrived at as in the best interests of the community long term. So, I too will miss Carl LeDuc, but he's got to go.
Yeah, I think that it's very exciting, and I think we all share in the kind of collective like, oh, I really love my character, but you know, the potential for new stories and the benefit to the community as a whole, I think it's insurmountable. Very exciting. So you know, since we're all starting fresh, however, and also at the same time, we want to start day one with a few core roleplay elements in place. One of those core elements is our law characters. They're critical to counterplay for the amazing roleplay that our criminals give us. So specifically for local law, Wheels, do you want to jump in and give us a game plan there?
Yes. So for local law, which are sheriffs, undersheriffs, and deputies, the plan for the upcoming weeks is this upcoming election for Blackwater and the one for Tumbleweed will be the last one we will have before relaunch. After relaunch, I will be waiting 2 to 3 weeks before restarting the election cycle, picking up where we left off, which I believe is Valentine would be the next in line, and continuing up with the same kind of 2-month cycle that I had. We're just going to put it on pause for a few weeks. In terms of the actual characters and players themselves, sheriffs and undersheriffs will be carried over as players. I will strongly encourage all law characters or all law players to roll new characters, but your position as sheriff and undersheriff will be carried over to relaunch, assuming you still would like to be in those positions. Deputies, however, we've decided are not going to be carried over. Does that mean that you can no longer be a deputy? No, you just have to be rehired in RP on the server. I am planning on having a town law meeting with all current town law people sometime in this next week, where I will go over more stuff in more detail and answer more specific town law questions that we don't get in the FAQ. And I think that's that.
Yeah, I think that covers it. I think you covered everything. So basically, on launch day, we will absolutely have local law in place. Local law provides so much role play. They're critical to the law system as a whole. So we want to make sure they're in place, and this is the best way, we believe, to do that. We also want to make sure that the influx of new characters and players creates opportunity for hiring deputies. So yeah, we're very excited about that. Can we get like some hearts in chat for Wheels? Thanks for that overview, Wheels. Next, marshals, AGs, judges. Basically same story there. These players will retain their allow listed role and their ranks, so that day one we have a full roster of these system critical roles. Not required that these players make brand new characters, but immensely encouraged. I will certainly be making a new chief deputy marshal. Kind of stoked about it, as much as I love Oakley. So yeah, ranks and roles will be retained. Anything I'm forgetting there? Anybody?
Can I just have a personal request that whoever your new CDM is that they still, if Woody comes back, that it still calls him Woodrow. Thank you so much.
It probably will happen, because that might be a little bit more me than my character. Okay, so we've got a couple more topics here to get through. The Thrive in 95, Let the Dice Decide TRP Charity Drive. That's a working title. It is an event I'm really excited to share with you guys. And then, so I've got a little overview for you about what this is. And then Purse is going to follow that up with a character crafting 101 moment, just to get you really inspired and excited about creating some new characters. So what is the Thrive in 95, Let the Dice Decide TRP Community Charity Drive? I've never said that out loud, actually.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Thank
Big
you
fan of how
so
the font got
much.
smaller, by the way.
Yeah. This was my 7 a.m. creativity, all right? So we're doing like a pledge-a-thon thing, like remember the Ice Bucket Challenge, except that we're doing it in a made-up pixel world. And instead of ice buckets, we're taking the plunge into making brand new characters. So the challenge, your commitment, is to pledge to create a brand new, never before seen character. And we'll be doing this to raise money for the Navajo Water Project. First PRC / Red Dead on TRP now. Community fundraiser that I'm aware of. Start date will be launch day. So on launch day, we're making brand new characters. Duration, 1 month. All right. So by signing up, what you're committing to doing is, first of all, we're going to roll for a random character trait. So this is going to be a Discord thing. We're going to set up a little dice bot and list of character traits. You'll roll, and whatever number you get is your random character trait. It'll be fun. You're going to create a brand new, never before seen character with that random trait. You're going to play that character for a minimum of 10 hours for the duration of the month. It's actually not a huge amount of time. And then optional is to donate $5 to our fundraiser, which is again for the Navajo Water Project. Additional option to participate in the streamathons, which we'll be doing at the start and end of the event. And final option is to join us for campfire sessions, which will be centered on Indigenous experiences. If you haven't been to campfire sessions yet, keep a lookout for the announcements on when we're doing those. They're every other Friday. Final little bits of information here is rewards. We love rewards. Incentive. Participants will get a Discord role with a cute little icon, similar to like the Halloween participation prize from last year. Your cute little icon there. If you participate, you get the icon. If you participate and donate $5, you get an extra fancy icon. And Hicks, our own Hicks, has committed to providing special edition guns, the names of which I don't remember. If you want to...
Yeah, that would be the Gambler's double action revolver or the exotic double barrel shotgun. Those weapons will not be given out outside of special contests. So that's pretty much the only way to get a hold of those two.
Sick. Very cool. Very excited about that. Thank you for adding that to the list of rewards, by the way. So here's some information just really quick to get you hyped about fundraising for this program, the Navajo Water Project. They serve New Mexico, Utah, and Arizona. Some statistics: 1 in 3 Navajo don't have a sink or a toilet. They're functioning without running water. Navajo are 67 times more likely than other Americans to live without running water, which is an injustice. NWP, I shortened it to that. Didn't really ever see them shorten it to that. Is Indigenous led and registered as an official enterprise on the Navajo Nation, which I think is a really important consideration when deciding who to donate money to. And then 100% of our donation will go directly to the project. They've provided 250 families with off-grid water services so far. It's actually really, really cool. NavajoWaterProject.org if you want to learn more. They do amazing stuff. It's really, really interesting. Yeah, that's it on the... let me go back. Thrive in 95. Purse, you want to jump in and give us some inspo on creating new characters? I feel like you've got some experience with that.
A little, a smidge, you could say. So I'm only going to speak for a couple of minutes here. I just want to inspire some people. Obviously, creating new characters is kind of daunting, but it can be really fun, especially something like with this challenge. I mean, obviously, you could make this your main character eventually. Could just be a fun one-off for the event itself. I just wanted to throw out some ideas for people to start mulling on, I suppose, for when you're creating your character. D&D has some amazing resources. I know there's a lot of you nerds out there who play D&D. You can take some of their theories, their traits, that sort of thing, adapt it for your characters. We're obviously going to be doing a role for a certain trait, but doesn't mean you can't flesh them out anymore. You could look at your favorite video game characters or your movies, that sort of thing, and you can enhance them. You could destroy them. You can give them funny ways they can speak, that sort of thing. I do also want to point out that not all your characters have to have traumatic backgrounds, but they are fun if you do them right. You can actually have 2 alive parents and a really good childhood. It's kind of crazy. And there's also random character generators and that sort of thing. So this whole event, which one, it's for an amazing cause, a really good cause. Recommend going and reading up on their website. But it's also, this character itself doesn't have to be a one-off. It could be your main character. It could just be that you need to be looking at other resources, pull from movies, video games, that sort of thing. I know that my new potential martial character, I'm going to be making a character hopefully that is like Ellie from Up, except she's going to be old but alive and looking for her husband all the time, and just stupid things like that, but it can also be serious. So I'm gonna probably dump into the general chat or maybe the Q&A chat at some point, don't know where, I'll figure it out, a bunch of character generators, resources, D&D stuff. I've made a whole list of stuff to help you out with this challenge because it is a really good cause. And I think it's gonna be really fun for everyone. So look out for that. I'll figure out where I'm gonna put it. But there you go. Have fun. I'm gonna do it.
Thank you, Purse. Can we get some love in the chat for Purse? When we're in Discord and we have gifts, I have so many options, but I feel like it's just love at this point with Twitch chat. Anyway. Oh yeah, that's good. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Purse. That was awesome. I'm inspired and excited. Are you guys excited to talk economy? Woo! Economics? Arik's not here. I made the assumption that our own Hicks would be speaking on his behalf about money as a physical item and the price/revenue squish. Was I correct in that assumption?
I don't find it to be cohesive to reveal too much information about an in-game economy out of game. I will say this much. We have converted money on the relaunch from kind of a non-physical entity that I'm sure you're all familiar with. You trade money back and forth, but you never physically have to worry about it. To it being a physical item like anything else in the game. And, I think there's a lot of RP potential in that. There's going to be a lot of RP potential when we get into crime mechanics post-launch. There's RP potential in just crime RP, with it being a physical item. In addition to that, an extensive kind of economic rebalance has been done on everything that touches methodologies to generating currency, whether it be skill output, crafting, reselling, tasks that get you money. All of that has been going through multiple passes of balancing, primarily just because we did little to no extensive balancing before the launch because we didn't have the manpower for it, but now we have the manpower for it. So we've dedicated several very talented developers to focusing exclusively on the balance of both the economical obvious stuff of money transactions to the skills and efforts to generate said money. It's all been focused on. So you will notice things are significantly cheaper, but also pay out less. You'll notice a lot of old bugs that people exploited and didn't report towards the early launch of the server have been squashed. So we're really hoping with this effort moving forward that we have a far more believable economy and less examples of people paying $50,000 for a stick with kerosene and a piece of cloth. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Can we get some applause in chat for Hicks? I think this might be the last time we hear from you officially.
Oh, nice. I'm
What are you gonna
I'm
do
doing
to
dev
him?
work. I'm doing dev work at the same time, so it's nice to be able to focus on it.
I like to imagine that he devs as Carl the Duke, and that's why his voice changer was on in the beginning of the meeting. That's my headcanon right now.
Sometimes,
him feel
yeah,
more missed.
I was actually over helping the 5M guys deal with some changes for their police vehicles, and I thought I'd give them a little Leduc fancy voice acting. Yeah.
I love it.
Amazing. Okay. Thank you. Properties after relaunch.
I just got bit by a snake on dev.
Oh,
See you
There's
in
no
3
doctors.
hours.
Yeah, something makes me feel like that's called karma. Okay, homestead deeds. So post relaunch, one thing we are aware of and seeking to avoid is the mass rush and grind to buy homes. We feel that it has the potential to be damaging to roleplay if our priority is grinding out money as opposed, for a home, as opposed to creating and enriching stories. So just, that's something that we're aware of and we're looking to mitigate. One of the ways we're going to do that is through a kind of trickle release of homestead properties. So one of the cool things that was featured in the video briefly is that deeds to homes will be physical item. You will have to have the deed in your inventory to go up to the home and purchase it. So what we'll be doing is kind of a multifaceted approach to releasing homestead deeds to characters. We'll be doing some raffles that we'll be handling. Switch back to the staff Discord. Is that because
we're just
you can't
seeing
hear
your
me?
DM tabs.
DMs
It's showing the DMs.
DMs are showing, okay.
Oh.
Just your. But it's just the names, yeah.
Oh, you know what? That's going to happen again. So will you remind me? Because what I realized is I forgot to download Casey's recordings. So I'm going to have to go back there in a minute. Thank you. Okay, homestead deeds, trickle release, multifaceted approach, raffles. Not sure if we'll do. We're not 100% sure on how we're gonna handle this, but we'd like to do some raffles. So there's an element of chaos and luck. And then we'll also be doing some in-character, like NPC-esque encounters for you. A limited amount of ambassadors and community managers will have a limited amount of deeds to give out in exchange for role play, quests, or item exchanges on the server. So yeah, that's our goal. Details to come. We'll give you more on that. The other thing to note that's going to be important to be aware of is business applications. Businesses will not be purchasable without a deed, just like homes. You will not get a deed without a business application. We'll open those up about 2 weeks in advance of relaunch. Our goal is that on launch day, our businesses are manned and operational and, hustling. So you'll submit your application. Could be a little competitive. I don't know. Depends on how many people want which businesses. There will be some activity requirements. There's going to be some expectations about generating role play beyond, you and your close circle. So, there's going to be some responsibility inherent with owning a business. And that's part of, hopefully, the application process will actually just kind of prepare you for that so that it doesn't come as a surprise. There's also going to be some activity expectations just in general for owning property, either whether it's defined in mechanics or, managed by our CM team, still to be told, but we are going to be expecting some activity. And this is because at the moment, right, our properties are so limited. It's not a situation where everybody can own every property. So we want to make sure that the properties that are available are being utilized for role play. Go ahead.
I can speak a little bit to this because I'm comfortable sharing this. We do intend on, and work is ongoing on it, post relaunch to introduce a tax system for property all across the board that will automate a lot of that, so that if you are financially failing and you're unable to pay the taxes on the property, you will lose the property.
Yep.
Damn, it's like real life.
That's too real.
I don't like this, man.
I have paid all of my property taxes in real
Yikes.
life. Just to be clear, that is one thing I stay on top of.
One other thing we're going to be doing, which we've already kind of done to an extent with group ownership limits, but again, whether it's mechanically implemented or CM managed, we'd like to implement player ownership limit. And there will be more information on that, but just be advised, like, as a player, you won't be able to just own as many properties as you want between all of your characters. You will have to decide which of your characters owns property. Because again, there's only a little bit to go around. Anything I missed before I move on to this crime good section? Anybody want to chime in? I think we're okay. How are we doing on time?
I like hearing myself talk.
I mean, that's fair. That's really fair.
Homeless roleplay. Don't always have to own a house or a business. Just saying.
Squatters' rights. Squatters' rights.
Hotels.
Just
Jinx.
steal all the deeds. I mean, what?
I actually wonder if there will be role play around, like taking deeds from people, but let me not give them ideas.
You know what I was thinking? Like, what if you're in like a poker match or like a dice game, and you're losing really bad, and you're like, the deed to my house, and then you lose the deed to your house. Consequences of your actions.
Ooh, that's genius. I love that.
Don't carry the deed with you. Put it in your safety deposit box at the bank.
Ooh, Ooh, yes, safety deposit box. Okay, we're getting too into it. Listen, it's time to crime good together. But first, I have a little entertainment for you to get you into the criminal mood. This is courtesy of our very own Thrall. Get your popcorn out, chatters.
Put up the movie starting.
Multitasking so hard right now.
They're coming for us now. Somehow they found us out. No sudden moves, don't make a sound. They're out for blood this time around. We gotta burn it all down. Today's the day, revolution's on its way. Our time is now, hold the line. This is how we'll be defined. Just stand your ground, give and take. Only works when both sides really give and take. The revolution's on its way. Look around, what do you know? This whole damn place is about to blow. Look around, what do you see? I see the wolves at bay coming after me. Oh, get ready for the war. They're coming now, yeah, they're right outside the door. They tried to hold us down, but they can't control us now. Today's the day, revolution's on its way. Our time is now, hold the line. This is how we'll be defined. Just stand your ground, give and take. Only works when both sides really give and take. The revolution's on its way. Look around, what do you know? This whole damn place is about to blow. Look around, what do you see? I see the wolves at bay coming after me. Get ready for the war. They're coming now, yeah, they're right outside the door. Break us down more. They want it all. They're gonna try to take us all. They wanna see us fall. Get ready for the war. Look around, what do you know? This whole damn place is about to blow. Look around, what do you see? I see the wolves at bay coming after me. Get ready for the war. They're coming now, yeah, they're right outside the door. Look around, what do you know? This whole damn place is about to blow. Look around, what do you see? I see the wolves at bay coming after me. Get ready for the war. They're coming now, and they're right outside the door. They're coming now, yeah, they're right outside the door.
Oh my goodness. Can we get some like fire in the chat? So good. I get so hyped every time. I saw some people, some mention of a lot of new ideas coming from that video, and I think that's the entire goal there. Every time I watch that, like a new little amazing moment.
One thing I learned from that video is that if you blow smoke in someone's face, you will get punched while someone's holding a machete.
Wow, yeah, that's so, words of wisdom to live by, really.
It's very true.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to you, Thrall. That was incredible.
I mean,
I do
seriously.
want to also thank everyone that I have that dragged along for that to make that video, listening to me command them all and get them all in place for stuff. But yeah, super happy to get that made.
Amazing.
Hey, Thrall, can you let people know what the song was called?
Oh, yeah, that song is Give and Take by Poor Man's Poison, which I'll especially shout out since we're streaming on Twitch. That band in particular is very, very friendly for streaming their music on Twitch. Very good Wild West music. Yeah.
Yeah, that was sick. Loved it talked about wolves when there were wolves. Very cool.
The about to blow scene where like it pans to the right and there's just the guy cackling next to the like dynamite. Anyways, amazing. So the thing that this is the first thing that I forgot to do was to download Casey's recordings. Casey could not be here to talk to us about criming good together, but it is a topic she's very passionate about. Casey, Purse, and our CM team in general has had our criminal roleplay in mind, and so Casey and Purse have been kind of reaching out and connecting with our criminal groups to give them a little additional support. Crime is so critical to the collective narrative. You guys that play criminal characters are vital to the server narrative. But yeah, so Casey has some thoughts. I'm gonna hit play and hope that you hear her voice. Let's see. Tell me, I can't see stream chat and play this. Can you guys
We'll let you
voice
know.
with me? Let me know. Wait for it.
Okay, so I want to preface this by stating everyone on the server
you hear
should
her?
be doing things to share enjoyment.
Yes, it's working.
Law, whatever. We are all here to have fun. Criminals provide our biggest source of conflict, and conflict makes stories. We want everyone to go into this relaunch with a good grasp on some crime culture we want to see. And that's the give and take of crime. So here are some topics I want to touch on. The first will probably be the most important thing: counterplay. It's a huge part of criminal roleplay. If you commit crimes, you need to realize that your end goal, yours, not your character's, should be to get caught eventually. So finding that balance of OOC motivation and IC motivation is your first step. When you commit crimes, if there is not some big grand audience, you need to leave clues with scenes. This is a must. And I don't just mean boot prints and strands of hair, nor do I mean a big sign carved in the wall saying this was me, unless you really want to do that last one. A fun crime tip. If you're in a big group doing crime, assign someone as a scene person. They are in charge of setting scenes. It's pretty fun and very hot. Think of little breadcrumbs. Things that could make someone assume it's your character or their group, but leave just enough doubt that anyone investigating has to gather more before they move on. For example, a scrap of cloth that matches your character's trademark coat. So if anyone looks close enough, you can then do a /me of a noticeable riff in the coat sleeve. Maybe your character smokes a specific brand of cigarette that's left behind. Something to spark some interaction down the line, and if you see the evidence isn't mounting up, and you suspect an investigation is stalled, maybe do something to liven it up a bit. We also want more tense build-up, more slow burn. Starting out as the biggest, baddest motherfuckers around is going to see you in Cisco a lot sooner than you probably will, because realistically, that's how people are going to have to react. You start off blasting everyone at every robbery, you're going to be one of the marshals list pretty quick. We love to see some more minor crimes that ramp up over time. They also help to build up dynamics. Rob a store, use a hostage, scam someone, do a long con. Maybe for your character, it's about the money. For you, it's about the experience, and the latter is what matters. What experience you get and what you give to others. If you play a criminal, I want you to always think of these two things simultaneously, working in tandem with one another. Another thing I want to touch on is personality. We had some bumps in the past where we just have these criminals that go around robbing people just because. Your character should always have a reason for doing their crimes, some substance. Set a goal for them. Maybe it's one they'll never reach, but reaching will be fun. Could they just be chaotic? Yeah. There's a million reasons why they could be that way, and every character should have layers to be discovered as their story moves along. You are not just loot boxing people for goods. You are making stories. Now, when you've committed some crimes and the law finally gets you, either for an arrest or for a chat to investigate, there needs to be something there other than, I hate the law, fuck you. That isn't collaboration. It needs to be a character interacting with the character at the end of the day. I'm not saying your character has to be nice. You can sneer and say mean things, but show your character's personality there too. make an enemy, a rival. Don't immediately start blasting, because gunplay 9 out of 10 times ends roleplay. We would absolutely love to see more long drawn out gunfights on the server, but we're really craving that big, long, tense build up way, way more. I want to touch a bit on a vigilantism because, surprise, it should be seen as a crime. If anyone hurts someone you care about and you go after them without a badge with the intent to harm them, not for a bounty, well, you're not following the law, so congrats, you're a criminal. And that is okay. And it should be treated appropriately for your character, and it should fit your character's actions. And your character should be prepared for the consequences that follow when the counterplay, that you should have already set up already, leads back to you. Finally, I want to announce a big change that we'll be doing to our groups. There will no longer be specialized contracts or agreements, but a channel that you and your fellow gang role players can use as a channel for communication with each other and, most importantly, staff. I'm going to be working hard to make sure each gang will have a channel to ask for feedback in situations they might need it. And finally, I'm going to list some random shit that didn't really fit into the speech here. Escalation. Not every interaction has to end with a big-ass threat. You don't have to threaten to gut someone to strangle them with their small intestines because they pickpocketed $5 from you. I want to see more bar fights, personally. Get rowdy with your fists. Pick a state that's home, and then pick a state to do crime, then don't shit where you eat. And don't forget your local law. Not all criminals have to commit crimes across all 5 states. Code words are fun. If you do disguises, don't go overboard. Leave some room for someone to discover who it really is. And for civilians, just react authentically. If you get a crime committed against you, like your non-violent bartender character, don't suddenly whip out a pistol and become a gunslinger just because you want to win. Go with the roleplay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
No, Casey, thank you. Miss you. Can we get some applause and general adoration in the chat, please, for Casey?
Did she do was there the hot reference in the beginning? Did I miss that? Damn it.
Yes,
yeah.
You missed it. Was it setting up somebody in advance to be the scene person is really cool and hot. Is that right? Did I nail that? I think those are words to live by. A huge amount of advice in there. I tried to summarize it. I did a really bad job of clicking the button along with her words, but I don't know. Save this for yourself to listen to again later, I guess. Learn from Casey. She's a genius at crime.
Leading scenes, very sexy.
Very sexy, honestly. Breadcrumbs? Give me more. Oh, we could blog it. Casey says we could blog it. I think this music is doing something to me. Okay. Great. Thank you, Casey. 5 States Medical. Zeph, are you ready?
No. But
5 States Medical. Can we get a chant in the chat for Zeph? Zeph's going to give us an overview of... Yeah, thank you. Medical. One of us.
When this turned into a cult chant.
An overview of what's in store for the 5 States Medical, what in and out of character resources we're providing, and how you can get involved. Take it away, Zeph.
Hi. Yeah, so I'm just gonna get into it because I don't know what else to... Hi, I'm Zephyr. I'm gonna just talk now. Okay. So the medical structure is meant to facilitate roleplay, not only for the community members that plays the part of the patient, but for fellow medical role players as well. There's a structure to the medical team that will allow people to climb ranks in each division, allowing people to take on more responsibilities and to share knowledge, teach, and learn with and from each other. It also provides the medical team with additional mechanical benefits for their roleplay. The medical structure will essentially help the medical community not only have a base universal knowledge, but also bring a level of realism and a standard of quality to the medical roleplay. For the chain of commands, and ranks. Each division will have leaders that together will act as a council that will closely work with each other and the chief of medicals to help create and maintain guidelines and regulations, followed by supervisors that will help maintain the guidelines and regulations and report any suspicious activity, be it either malpractice, criminal, or poor behavior related. Then there are trainers who are regular medical staff that feel comfortable teaching and have proven their training capabilities. And after that, there's regular medical staff who have earned their 5 states doctor's license or certificate if they want to be a field medic or an herbalist. Finally, there will be students and apprentices, and the only difference between those two is the leaders and the chief of medicals will be able to take on up to 3 personal apprentices that will be able to travel with their doctors to learn and experience the medical field more closely. However, this is not a requirement, so you're not going to have to drag people around if you don't want to. Students will generally shadow whomever they can during medical procedures and also learn through classes and scenarios that will be set up by trainers, supervisors, leaders, and chiefs. Both students and apprentices will have documentation available to them to read through and learn, but it is very important to follow the roleplay and allow people to help guide and teach. It doesn't make sense to just read a document and be like, I know everything now. So everyone will have the same opportunities in becoming a trainer, supervisor, or leader as long as your character is showing their capabilities. Everybody, literally everybody, you will all have the same opportunity. Documents. With this, there will be numerous documentation provided in assisting people to learn and remember the basics of medicine in the 19th century, as well as advanced medical knowledge for illnesses and treatments of them, pharmaceuticals, and herbology. The majority of the knowledge I've written within the documents has been taken directly from multiple books from that era, and the remainder of the knowledge is from reputable sources such as museums or PubMed articles that speak about things from that time period. There's a wealth of knowledge and many books from the 19th century, including different treatments and methods, and from them I've chosen a path for most situations that make the most sense for the United States in the specific era and time. In the future, though, more documentation will be provided for different specializations and methods, and I would absolutely love for members of the medical community to have input on these with the proper sources provided. My hope is to see this blossom into a collaborative effort made by everyone that wants to be involved, where everyone has the opportunity to contribute their own discovered 19th century medical knowledge. Absolutely no one will be turned away from being a part of the medical structure unless their character is a proven criminal. There were also some concerns about the fugitive harboring scenario, and if their character would be removed if caught. And I want to be clear to everyone that we will not be removing people for fugitive harboring, as long as you're not actively aiming guns at law and keeping them from entering the doctor's office. This should not be seen as fugitive harboring. And if it is, it's not something that I wish to punish people for, as it's in our oath to help the injured and the misfortunate. We hope to grow to include more than just doctors, surgeons, field medics, medical coroners, nurses, and pharmacology. We'll soon be adding on veterinary medicine, which will be led by Iggy and Sir Sappho. And we wouldn't mind adding ophthalmology. I knew how to say that word before. I've read it like 5 times, but now I'm having a problem because there's 120 of you. Dentistry, and maybe some other niche things as well. With each division that is added, besides the already existing, if someone wants to take the lead out of character and create documents and provide the reputable sources, we would be more than accommodating and allowing that person to take the lead on that specific category. But they would need to reach out and be granted that permission prior to doing all the work. I don't want you to do all the work and then just come to me and be like, hey, look at this thing. And like before being approved. So in order to get into the whole system, there will be an interview / application process. It will be very short. It won't be long, but it will help show your character's interest and allow the team to know your character's personal information so they can contact law. Hell yeah, more roleplay for law and medical. To find out if you've been directly involved with anything criminal related within the past 2 weeks. If not, you would then become a part of the medical team and start out as a student. If you've played a medic previously on the server, you will most likely get through training much faster due to your already existing medical knowledge. The code of medical ethics, something that I want to bring in. Obviously, as doctors, an oath would be required to take that promises you won't cause any harm, be that either by malpractice or causing an injury to another person. There is another thing that some people have shown concern about as well, and that's answering criminal messages when they need treatment. Obviously, it's part of our job and oath to take care of people. And again, harboring a fugitive isn't a crime that will get you removed from the medical team. With that being said, if there is any personal issue between a medical staff member and a patient, medical treatments can be refused if another medical person is there to treat the patient. Or, you know, if the actually, I'm not going to say that part. For nurses, there's also an extra oath that they would take, and that is called the Nightingale's Oath. And it caters specifically to the duties of nurses. A Discord group will be provided, just like the channels that are provided to law. There will be channels in the group Discord for everyone that's a part of the 5 States Medical. There's a channel for links to the SOPs and guides, a channel for books, a place for general chatter, a channel for patient records, a medical training channel. This is my favorite. For trainers and above to create threads of newly hired medical students with cards for them to be marked off for completing different categories of their training. License and certification you would get after your training is completed. And you will receive an actual license or certificate for your character to use as a scene with your name and the date of your training completion. So that's pretty neat. And then there were the new mechanics. This is the best part. The devs have created some really badass things for the 5 States Medical team, including a role much like one for marshals. And that new role will allow us to check over patients and view the generalized area of their injuries. But the severity, exact location, and the type of injury is completely up to the patient's roleplay with the help of the doctor's guidance. We will also gain access to a variety of different medical items that should support numerous approaches to treatment that will help diversify the medical aspect of healing patients. So this will allow us to treat patients with a combination of roleplay and game mechanic. Don't just use the mechanics. You gotta do the roleplay too. Patients will be able to visit a local doctor up to once an hour for their injuries, just in case a player doctor isn't available. I'm done. That's it. That's the end.
Woo! Woo! Can we get some, I don't know, what's cooler than hearts? Your favorite emotes in the chat for Zeph, please. Amazing job. Thank you so much, Zeph. She's put so much work in for months on this project. I cannot wait to see it in action. We're already kind of playtesting some things, right, Zeph? Like, as of now, things are being play tested. But I think the implementation of some of these mechanics and the role with the relaunch are going to be pretty epic and game changing for our medical community. Very exciting. Did anybody want to chime in real quick? Are we okay on time? Anything we forgot? I think we covered everything. That was really thorough. Great job, Seth.
Thank you.
Great job. Love you.
I love you.
Speaking of people that have been working crazy hard behind the scenes, our ambassadors are so amazing. I don't know if they get enough credit for the amount of work they do, and leading them with grace and power and dignity is our own Molly Pop, who's going to give us some updates on the ambassador team. We're going to talk about Sisica. We're going to talk about requesting ambassador support and applying for ambassador, and frankly, whatever else Molly wants to talk about. Take it away.
Thank you so much. Hey, everybody. I'm Molly. I'm the lead ambassador for the ambassador team. You've probably heard me with a voice changer playing a man, but this is me. So this is exactly what I sound like. I'm going to be talking about some things that the ambassadors will be working on and just some general things to know about ambassadors in general. Hey, babies. So first up, we're going to talk about Sisica. I want to shout out to Nixian, especially, and the ambassador team for spearheading making Sisica feel much more alive with, playing guards, making the intake form, and coming up with all the rules, aka the we'll shoot you. We plan to continue the support after the post wipe as best as we can, especially with the dope new custom uniforms that Purse has made, which is also a huge step for Red M in general. So thank you, Purse. Full disclosure and transparency, we'll see how player pop affects our ability to do so. So that might fluctuate. It is something that I know the ambassadors really enjoy doing and playing. But depending on player pop and where those first few weeks of roleplay take them, just keep in mind that even if you don't see guards there, Sisica is still a fully guarded federal prison, right? So if you go in there, you can't unless you're in jail. Kind of like the Marshal headquarters and stuff, right? So that's kind of our plan for Sisica so far. Next up, we'll talk about requesting ambassador support. I know that this is subject to change in the near future, but currently, the best way to request support from ambassadors for an event is firstly to give us as much time as possible to help. Try to aim for at least 1 week in advance. But you go to twitchrp.com/report, you make a new ticket, make sure the ticket type is character requests, make the request type event or story support. And then you just tell us kind of what your plan is, what you need from us. And then the way it works is currently we make a thread in our staff channel where we kind of get to talk about all the stuff behind the curtain. And then we do very factual planning with you in the live Discord, the public Discord, I guess you could say. And that's where we kind of just get all the basics from you. That way it's still kind of a fun surprise for you. At least that's how we try to approach it. Next, applying for ambassador. So full disclosure, Casey and I will be monitoring the player population to kind of gauge how much support we may need. We plan to likely take on 1 or 2 more ambassadors, probably, just kind of just a guess, but I'd say maybe a month or 2 after launch, maybe sooner. Casey and I currently plan to continue to have the player recommendations for now. We feel that people see collaboration, and if you're a great collaborator, then the people that see it will want to highlight you, right? But however, any changes to the apps and whenever they're opened again will be announced just like they were before. Okay, deep breath. Whew. Okay, ambassadors at Relaunch. The ambassador team will be assisting the community managers, I think, as Kay mentioned a little while ago, with deeds to properties a few weeks after launch. I can't give super specifics because that's still something that we're working on, but we want to make it fun. We want to make it as immersive as possible, right? So, but most importantly, our plan for ambassadors, the first few weeks especially, is we want them playing various roles, and we want them to kind of observe what the economy is like, because that's a really big part of it, right? 1 minute. Because, for example, you won't be seeing us doing these huge bank transports like you may have seen us do before, because $1,000 on the live server means a lot different than $1,000 on post-wipe, right? So, but we still plan to have, little like stranger missions for you, still ways to make the world seem alive. And then that way we can help gauge what will help support the economy and keep it balanced. But that's about it for the ambassadors. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Yay, amazing. Woo! Thank you, Molly. Could we get all your cutest emotes in chat for Molly, please? Cutest emotes.
Why am I so out of breath?
That was a lot. You got so much in 5 minutes. Great job. Yeah, amazing. Frontier Justice. Speaking of bank transports, we've got Thrall and Wheels here to talk to us a little bit about some things you might not know. I think the kind of unsung heroes of our justice system. I'm just going to give us a quick overview and then they'll jump in. Well, yeah, I did that. I clicked it. The overview's on the screen. Take it away, Thrall and Wheels.
Oh, God. Hello, it's Thrall. I'm here again. And Wheels. I play, if some people would know, one of the main characters I'm playing right now is Caden Clements, who's currently the Attorney General on the server. And essentially, yeah, we'll just going over like what our office does, what the courtrooms are like, what we're hoping to get out of courtroom etiquette, and sentence hearings and trials and all that. So basically, for those who don't know, who haven't interacted with the Attorney General's office at all, we are the prosecution for cases. They're the lawyers who work with the marshals, and they're the ones who step in when a serious case or matter is at hand, and when someone's appealing their case. These are the people who start to become involved. You've probably seen a few of the characters around. A Canadian plays Gene Teal, and we have Jimothy playing Jimothy. So we have attorneys. We have a special division of Pinkertons that act as our security investigators. And we have general staff that help us out. So the Attorney General's we are recruiting people who are interested in that sort of end of the law for the lawyering part and the courtroom part. And also, if you don't want to be working for the government, you want to be defense attorneys, that is completely open. It's been kind of vague so far, but we want to keep it just open at this point. At this time, anyone can declare themselves as a lawyer. I personally would recommend you let the Attorney General's office know so that we can recommend your lawyer character to criminals who are hoping to find an attorney. We do. If you want to go to the Attorney General's office, then we do the recruitment office, very similar to the marshals. It's mostly in character. There's a couple out of character portions, but find us in character kind of thing, and we go from there. Anyway, for trials themselves, personally, a big emphasis I want to give is if you want to get involved in that, if you've seen shows like Better Call Saul and have really want to have fun in the courtroom, I will want to emphasize you don't need to know too much real law. You don't need to be an actual lawyer. Our goal is to keep court cases and law simple and not insanely complicated details. We want to have more courtroom drama moments happen, and for the sake of RP and story. We want to use elements that we think are good and fun for RP that are part of the 1895 law and use that as part of our advantage to make a more fun and enjoyable experience and to make courtrooms more watchable and more entertaining to those who are spectating. So as with the AG's office growing, in law in general, we've been opening the door to being able to dispute your cases. So some people may know that there's been we've had 2 cases so far that have come up. So there was Fern's trial over disputing her attempted murders and Turquoise disputing his greater theft charge. And they had the trials had a judge come in, did them in character, and they were a lot of fun. They were good experiences for also learning like how we want to do our trials, and enjoyable for criminals who want to strike back or follow up on something. We do want to emphasize that this should be for larger claims when you're disputing, and right now it's going to be a limit of only 60-day plus sentences. And at this point, it's you bringing it up in character at the Attorney General's office or to a marshal, and then we continue that process in character, and then we start up a support ticket in the Discord for scheduling purposes. And Wheels, you want to talk about judges and stuff?
Yeah. So, like Thrall said, we have a couple judge characters. Right now it's myself and Hicks playing judges. For the time being, judges are going to stay as CM and curator characters. Plans for the future, I have some in mind, but nothing that I can share at the moment with that. Big thing is we want to emphasize that, our judge characters are characters. They can make their own they have their own expectations on what they will be deciding during court cases. They're, independent characters. They think for themselves and they have their own personalities. So wanted to emphasize that. The other big thing that I want to mention is civil cases. Currently, I don't believe we've really had any civil cases that have happened, but I want to emphasize that civil cases do, in fact, have support for you to be able to sue your neighbors, your friends, your enemies for monetary value, for money, food, clothing, horses, whatever it is that your heart desires to sue somebody for. You can do that. Currently, the process is that you go to your town's sheriff or undersheriff to litigate that. The sheriffs and undersheriffs have a lot of freedom and wiggle room on how they want to basically hold any sort of litigation or hearings. They can set their own expectations on essentially in what they will allow as like evidence or witnesses that they are fine with. All of that, it's their town. They can basically make the rules up for civil cases. If you go to the undersheriff and you're not happy with the undersheriff's ruling, you then go to the sheriff. If you're unhappy with the sheriff's ruling, you would contact the Attorney General's office in Saint Denis and ask for a trial with a judge be scheduled to hear your civil case. There is no guarantee that a judge will hear your civil case. If we are all very busy, we don't have the time, or we feel the sheriffs have decided it well enough, we'll just kick it back to the sheriff's ruling. In the event that a judge does hear a civil case in court, the judge's decision will be final. But with that said, there's so much possibility in the RP surrounding civil cases. It is very much an entire untapped section of RP on the server, and I want to strongly encourage you all to start experimenting with that a little bit. The support for civil cases and litigation has been in for several months now, so that is it's there. Use it. You know, if your neighbor, you know, kicks your horse and, you know, the vet says that your horse can't run for a week and you lose money from that, then sue them. You know, go to your sheriff and initiate a lawsuit against them for lost income or damages, cost to treat your horse, yourself, whatever it is that you want. And just because it may also be a criminal offense does not necessarily mean that they can't be sued for the damages or costs to fix or repair or replace whatever was lost or broken. So keep that in mind as well. And I think that's everything. No, I don't think I'm missing anything for all.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's that.
I'm giving a thumbs up, but it's only audio, so no one can see this.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yay.
I put on some nice, hopeful music to encourage you to sue everyone. Take it to your sheriff. Yeah, can we get some applause in the chat, please, for Wheels and Thrall? Thanks for going over that with us. Very
I can't wait to
informative.
sue everyone.
Sue you.
I'm gonna sue Yin. I'm gonna sue.
What if I want to sue the sheriff? I'm
To
kidding.
the animals of the state.
I mean, if you want to sue the sheriff, call the AG's office, get a court hearing scheduled. Let's go.
I
sue your
sued the
horse.
sheriff, but I
And
didn't sue
I did
the-
sue a bee.
Okay, great. Using
Great job,
pre-web
Sarah.
to your advantage. Great, amazing. This is just a little quick moment with our good old friend Casey, just to give you some inspiration on options you have that you might not have thought about leading up to the lore wipe. It's going to be a little recording, and I'm going to play it as soon as I get there. We're so close. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Okay, so I want to preface this by stating everyone on the server should be doing things to share enjoyment, criminals, civilians, law, whatever. We are all here to have fun. Criminals provide our biggest source of conflict, and conflict makes stories. We want everyone to go into this relaunch with a good grasp on some crime culture we want to see. And that's the give and take of
Oh no,
crime.
wrong one.
So here's some-
Wrong one. Wait for it.
With the announcement of the wipe, I know what we're all thinking.
Nailed it.
Time to fucking die. But stop, wait, listen. Let's not get all doom and gloom. There are plenty of things to do before now and relaunch. Think of it like you're ending a book, not burning a book. You don't toss a book away just because you know an ending is coming either. I want to remind everyone that characters can have happy endings too. Now is the time to really think of a goal to set for your character on what stuff they need to do for said happy ending or sad ending, whatever happy, sad ending your heart desires. And I'm not talking scripting, just to be clear, just a direction to head in. Look for closure, not just for you. Keep in mind your characters are probably involved with other people's stories. Unresolved conflict, relationships up in the air, the drama. Let's all work together to give everyone a good time and stories we can all be proud of finishing. This is also a great chance to try new things. Maybe you've been wanting to take your character down a certain road, but you've been unsure, and now's your chance to give it a try. Maybe try out a new short-term character. If you like the feel, could be a great direction to head toward when the wipe happens. And if you're not feeling it, taking a break is fine too. You'll be welcomed back with open arms when all the new stories start. We want people to still be playing and enjoying the server with the idea in mind that their stories are coming to an end soon. Like, this season is coming to an end and you don't want to just stop for the finale, do ya? Let's finish up the good times we've had in the style, prepare for the good times ahead. I know the Ambies will be working hard to create some fun stuff to do in the meantime, fill in any dry spells we see to help facilitate things as needed, and I do want to point out that just because a wipe is coming doesn't mean you suddenly ignore the rules and no longer put effort into your roleplay. We will map you. Be respectful, be creative, and be collaborative. What was that one?
She said, how long was that one? Amazing. Gosh, that was like a jam-packed 2.5 minutes. Thank you so much, Casey. So much inspiration there. I really appreciate the book metaphors personally.
Yeah, I think Kate said that, and I was really, and Casey was like, "That's really smart,"
Yep.
and I agree. I don't know if it was in here. If it was, Casey, I'm super sorry. But I remember her saying that. Actually, I don't want to speak on something that's about to be spoken on. Speak on it, sis. But like, potentially, like, you maybe want to take a break up until the relaunch, and that's totally okay too. But keep in mind, if you have outstanding conflict that hasn't been resolved with other characters, before you kind of bow out to take your break, make sure that you tie up those stories and continue that collaboration until it's ended.
Yeah, that was the first bullet point, and it was something we kind of talked about as an aside, I think. But yeah, you're not necessarily the main character of every story, and other people's stories might be depending on you. So, you know, think about collaborative opportunities. Yeah, great. Good point. Thanks for bringing that up. Molly. Oh, can we get so much hype in the chat for Casey? Thank you for all the dope inspo there, Casey. Whoa, the timing on that. Whoa, Halloween. Did you think we forgot? Because we didn't. Okay? It's halfway through October and you might be thinking, I haven't been jump scared yet. I haven't seen any giant 100-foot tall skeletons storming through Blackwater. What's going on? Where's my horror? Don't you worry. We've been working on something for you for months, literally. There's so much prep work that's gone into this. We're all very hyped, and boy, have we got some hauntings in store for you. But you know, let me get you in the mood. Let's get the Halloween spirit a brewing. Buckle up, get your popcorn out, maybe a blankie. You might need a blankie for this one, okay? All right, hold on now.
Sleeps, and yet she does not sleep.
I'm so sorry for the echoes, but hopefully it just added to the ambiance there. Can we get your scariest emotes in the chat for Purse, please? That video is amazing. I've watched it probably 30 times and I still just got chills. To tell you more about the event that we have planned for you, Tonix is here on behalf of the Halloweenies committee to give you the lowdown. All right, Tonix, are you here?
I'm here.
Amazing. Take it away.
Oh boy, am I here. Howdy, buckaroos and buckarettes. So, as you've probably noticed by now, we're not going to be doing a month-long event this year, as it's already halfway through October. We're close. I know some of you are probably excited, at least hopefully, and others might have a fair bit of warranted trepidation, but worry not. We've got a story for you folks to unfold and solve the mysteries of, all of which will be taking place exclusively in Gorma this year, with a way to get to Gorma totally free of cost up until the event itself ends in a hopefully climactic display at the end of that week. So I hope you folks will be excited to deal with the menace of the Necromancer and her cronies the week leading up to the holiday. The ambassadors have been hard at work toiling up some frights and spooky shenanigans that take into account the pros and cons of last year's October event. And I just wanted to tell you guys that any scares that happen outside of Gorma will not be relating to anything happening on Gorma. Those spooks may happen, they may not, but if they do happen, they'll be ambient without any character interactions. So no skeletons will chop you down with steel, with machetes. You know, no one's going to be teleporting out of the shadows to give you some spooky mind-controlling literature. All of those examples I just listed will be things that will be happening on Gorma. You can choose whether or not your characters believe these things are supernatural or not, but regardless, the repercussions will be real. From injuries to death, it'll still be at your behest, okay? So, for example, there's not going to be any meteor, gas that makes you think it did or didn't happen. It's at your character's choice. Okay, but if you, for instance, lose a leg on Gorma, well, sorry, you still lost the leg. If you go to Gorma, you're given consent to the ambassadors and anyone else on the staff team getting in on the spooky shenanigans to be spooked, to participate in the supernatural. That's pretty much everything I had.
Yeah, great job. Go ahead, Molly.
Oh no, I can just add a little bit more to the mainland, just to kind of add on to what Tony said. Yeah, like as he pointed out, mainland, and you can see there is ambiance kind of hands off, much more. That's where it's kind of like much more like, wait, was that a shadow? Did I just see that? Or did you hear that? No. Oh, it must have been the wind. That kind of stuff. There won't be any like people jumping out at you. You might see people running in the shadows. You might hear things, but it will give you the opportunity to just kind of, say, oh, it must have just been a coyote.
I hear a few whispers in your ears, things you can't be sure about, things that'll make you double take, that sort of thing.
But like a haunted house, they can't touch you. Unless you sign a waiver, and we're not making you sign a waiver. Yeah. You sign your waiver on Gorma.
That's also a good thing. There are events currently happening on server that people have been putting together. You are more than welcome to still launch your own Halloween events. They just can't be canonically supernatural or anything like that. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hay rides, haunted houses, all of that. That's great.
Haunted
you guys can do
Limpany,
that.
Things like that.
Yep. But the supernatural character requests, like we did last year, we're not going to be facilitating. It's going to be really just staff only that's handling the creation of the supernatural realness. Again, and going to Gorma, you're opting into the scary shit, okay? It's not hands off in any way, shape, or form. It's hands on, and it's really happening.
I'm gonna be personally all over you guys, okay?
It's
Yeah,
gonna
no
be
more
fun.
hocus pocus like
Yeah.
last year.
Yep. You're opting in by going to Gorma. You can opt out by leaving Gorma, but just
Yeah,
know
get out of
that going there, you're opting in. Whether or not you believe it's supernatural, I mean, it's up to you. You can play with that a little bit, but shit's gonna be crazy. You're gonna have a hard time explaining it any other way. Very exciting. It's 1 week only. Last week of Halloween, because Halloween's an entire month, really. But last week of October. Yeah, there are no safe words. Very excited about it. Hope you guys love it. I think we got everything. I think it was really thorough. Great job. Can we get some hype in chat for Tonics? Thank you so much for that overview. And you know what? Fuck it. Give Purse some more credit to chat.
Absolutely.
That video is dope. That will be available to rewatch on our YouTube channel, along with the feature highlight reel if you need more juice in your veins after this. And that's it. That's all we've got, folks. It's Q&A time. Here shortly, we'll be opening up the Q&A channel in the Red Dead Discord. Oh, you know what I did miss, actually? Is Tess here? I totally missed the portion about the merger. I totally didn't even get... So just off the top of my head, quick notes on merger status. We're merged. Woo, we're done. Great. Like, you've probably been noticing more and more of the PRC branding has been replaced with Twitch RP branding. As we notice it, that will continue to happen, although I think we've just about nipped it all. We'll be fully retiring the PRC website in the immediate future. For the most part, it just redirects you to Twitch RP's website anyways. Yeah, I mean, our allow listing here after today will be fully through TRP's systems. Basically, yeah, the merger's gone great. I think too, I wanted to call out how amazing our staff has been behind the scenes. I don't think it's possible to quite articulate just how much work every single person on our team does. And collectively, it's crazy. Like, there's just shit happening literally every day. I can't even keep up with it all. Our community managers are working constantly. Our ambassadors are amazing. We've got ambassadors. Something really cool, I think, is we've got ambassadors for both the GTA and the Red Dead server now, facilitating stories. Yeah, I mean, we've doubled the size of our team. I think the teams are working cross-collaboratively more and more and more. It's amazing to see. I'm really inspired by them every day. You guys are, I mean, like, really, this update and relaunch couldn't have happened without the collective work of everybody behind the scenes. So I hope everyone feels really proud of the work that they've done. I'm really proud of you. I think you're fucking all amazing. But yeah, that's, I guess, where we're at with the merge, and that's about the extent of information that I've got for you there. I don't think we've done a great job, I guess, of like displaying the merge project progress publicly. So I just want to let you all know that, like, it has commenced. We've been doing it. We're merged now. We are one. All right, Q&A time. This is the end of the meeting. I am gonna replay on your way out for you the feature showcase. So if you just can't get enough, stick around for that while you wait for the Q&A channel to open. You're gonna wanna read the channel rules. Slow-mo's gonna be engaged. It's gonna be open for 48 to 72 hours depending on activity. And then the follow-up will be an FAQ document. There won't be answers to you in the moment in that channel. We're gonna give it time for everybody to ask their questions. And a quick note too, I feel like the channel rules are kind of like maybe scary. Like, no one's gonna yell at you if you ask a question that was already answered, you know, in the meeting or in the blog post. It might just if enough people say, yep, I also have that question, that might indicate to us that we didn't do as good a job communicating as we thought. So if you were here for the meeting, if you've already read the blog post, if you've already seen the video and you still have questions, ask them, please. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody. Give us a few minutes to get that channel up. And yeah, thank you, speakers. You all did an amazing job. You gave us so much information. And I feel really hyped and excited for everything to come. I hope you all do as well.
Just want to say, fire emojis in the chat for K-Apocalypse, dude. Thank you for running this meeting. You were great. You were fantastic.
Yeah, thank you for having us. You have a lovely home.
Yeah,
Thank
I like
you.
your carpet. It's very nice here.
I miss the dog clip clap noises though.
I locked the small dogs upstairs with Brian, and I just have CJ,
Yep.
who's much more chill.
That's because she's the best girl.
She is the bestest girl. She really is.
Yeah, Kate's great.
Wow.
I don't have a fire emoji. What the hell?
Hey, CJ. Yeah, what?
I don't have a fire emoji.
Oh, yeah, this was supposed to be campfire session. This counts. I totally forgot. My bad. Yeah, this is our campfire session for the week. Really great campfire sesh, everybody. I think this is our best attended one yet.
Yeah, and thank you everybody in the chat. It was super, like, just genuine questions, really chill. Like, the chat was fun to read. It was really nice. So thank you,
Yeah,
everybody.
huge shout out to everyone that watched. Honestly, the vibes were great. You guys, chat, you were very awesome. Thank you so much for your engagement and participation in the meeting. Okay. All right. Let's get the outro rolling and the Q&A open. Yeah.
I just really enjoyed all the videos.
Yeah, same, honestly.
They're really good.
Don't get stabbed.
Little father, I'm just stuck here in a dream. I'm just stuck here in a dream.
There's so many channels and I can't find it.